The loneliness of the chosen woman is not a coincidence, nor a punishment. It is a preparation. Since the beginning of time, those who carry a greater purpose walk paths where few can accompany them. Not because they are better or superior, but because the calling they received demands a different journey. While many feel comfortable among the crowd, the chosen woman feels a call to something deeper. Shallow conversations do not fulfill her. Empty cycles make no sense. And what seems sufficient for others is never enough for her. But this deeper perspective on life comes at a price. Distance, misunderstandings, judgments. Not everyone can handle someone who thinks differently, feels more intensely, and seeks something beyond what the world offers. And it is at this point that the question arises, echoing in the souls of many chosen women. Why, even when I give my best, do I so often feel alone? The answer lies in your essence. You were not called to fit in, but to stand out. And when God chooses someone for a special purpose, He sets that person apart, strengthens them, and shapes them in solitude. Because a great calling never comes without preparation. Today, I want to show you the 7 reasons why chosen women walk alone. I want you to understand that this phase of your life has a purpose, that this loneliness is not an end, but a process. If this message resonates with you, stay with me until the end. Every word may be the answer you need to understand what is happening within you. And before we begin, subscribe to the channel. Here, you are not alone. Here, you are part of something greater. Now let's reflect. They see the world with different eyes. The chosen woman has a different perspective. From an early age, she realizes that her way of seeing life is not like others. While many live on autopilot, without questioning, she feels that there is something beyond what is visible. The ordinary does not attract her. The superficial does not fulfill her. The fleeting does not satisfy her. Her intuition is strong. Before something happens, she feels it. Before the words are spoken, she already perceives the intention behind them. This attentive gaze makes her understand things that go unnoticed by most. But when she tries to share her perceptions, she often encounters empty stares and cold responses. The depth with which she feels and analyzes life can be a burden. Not everyone wants to hear the truth. Not everyone is ready to see what she sees. Some people avoid her company because the intensity of her gaze forces them to confront realities they would prefer to ignore. It's not that she wants to be different. She simply is. Shallow conversations tire her. The pursuit of status, material goods, or social approval makes no sense. While many are busy chasing fleeting things, she desires something greater. A purpose, a mission, a truth that makes it worthwhile to be here. But this thirst for something real can also bring loneliness. Those who live in superficiality do not understand someone who sees beyond the obvious. Sometimes they try to silence the chosen woman. They say she thinks too much, feels too much, complicates too much. They do not understand that for her, living without depth is the true waste. She cannot close her eyes to what God has placed in her heart. Over time, she learns to keep many of her perceptions to herself. She learns that not everyone is ready to know what she knows. She learns to be silent when she realizes that her truth frightens others. But this does not mean she should nullify herself. Her unique perspective is not a mistake. It is a gift. God made her this way for a reason. If He set her apart to see what others do not see, it is because He has something special for her. Her vision was not given by chance. She should not hide who she is to please those who prefer illusion. The world needs people who see the truth, and she is one of them. Her journey does not fit the world's patterns. The chosen woman realizes early on that her path will be different. Society presents an ideal path. Grow up, study, get a stable job, marry, build a family, and follow the same rules that so many have already followed. For many, this is the perfect life. But for her, something inside her heart says that there is more. While everyone around her seems satisfied, she feels a restlessness that is hard to explain. It's not that she despises these paths, but she knows that her mission is greater. What satisfies others does not fill her soul. There is a hunger for something that goes beyond the predictable, beyond what the world teaches. The problem is that not everyone understands this quest. Most prefer to follow without questioning, accepting what they have been taught. And when they encounter someone who thinks differently, the reaction is often critical. They say she complicates things too much, that she should just accept things as they are, that she is being too demanding with life. This misunderstanding follows her wherever she goes. At work, among friends, even within her family. The gaze of those who do not understand. The comments disguised as advice. The attempt to fit her into something that was not made for her. But a chosen woman never fits where she does not belong. She may even try to follow what everyone expects of her. She can, for a time, force herself to conform to the standards. But something will always pull her back to her true calling. The soul of someone born for something greater never finds rest in the ordinary. And it is precisely this difference that makes her walk alone at many moments. Because while many go with the flow without questioning, she feels that she cannot ignore what God has placed inside her. She feels that she was born to make a mark, to fulfill a purpose that few would understand. The world teaches that one must follow the safe path, without taking risks, without dreaming too big. But the chosen woman was not made for the safety of the predictable. She feels that her journey requires courage, faith, and a willingness to go beyond what is comfortable. And this courage will not always be understood. Some people will distance themselves, while others will try to demotivate her. The world is not used to people who do not simply accept fitting in. But she cannot ignore the truth within her. Every door that closes, every path that seems lonely, is actually a direction. God does not allow the chosen woman to settle in places where she should not be. What seems like loneliness is, in fact, a realignment. He is removing what does not serve to make room for what truly belongs to her mission. She does not need to fear being outside the world's standards. This difference is not a mistake, it is a sign. She was not made to follow the path of the majority. Her destiny is different, and this journey, even if solitary at times, will lead her exactly where God wants her to be. Your strength scares others. The chosen woman carries within her a strength that few understand. She has faced challenges that would break anyone, had to rise again when no one believed in her, and has gone through betrayals, losses, and new beginnings. But instead of giving in, she moved forward. Pain shaped her, and the scars tell her story. Not everyone can handle this strength. Some people feel uncomfortable, as if her mere presence is a reminder of what they cannot be. There are those who admire her, but there are also those who criticize her, who try to diminish her so they do not have to confront their own weakness. For many, it is easier to judge than to acknowledge how much she has fought to get here. This strength did not come from nowhere. It was forged in the silence of difficult nights, in moments when no one helped her, in the falls that taught her to get up on her own. Every tear shed, every door closed, every harsh word she had to swallow transformed into the resilience that now sustains her. The problem is that the world is not used to women like this. Most prefer those who lower their heads, who accept anything, who do not impose limits. The chosen woman does not fit this mold. She speaks when she needs to speak, faces what she needs to face, and does not allow herself to be manipulated. And that is frightening. Some people feel envy, not because she has more, but because she is more. She does not bend easily, does not accept less than she deserves, and does not allow herself to be trapped by what does not make sense to her soul. Her presence disturbs those who live in mediocrity because it shows that it is possible to be more, to live more, to dream more. Others simply distance themselves. They do not know how to deal with someone who does not need to be saved, who does not beg for approval, who walks firmly even when everything seems uncertain. For many, her strength is a burden because it reveals their own insecurities. They do not know how to act around someone who does not need permission to exist. She has tried to dim her light to fit in. She has pretended to be less intense, less determined, less true. But she realized that this made her unhappy. Her essence was not made to be stifled. God did not make her strong so that she would hide, but so that she could fulfill her purpose without fear. The strength of the chosen woman is not arrogance. She does not seek to impose herself on others. She simply refuses to be controlled. She does not want to be above anyone. She just does not accept being below. Her strength is not pride, but a necessity. If she were not strong, she would have been destroyed by the pains she faced. Those who do not understand this strength judge her. They say she is difficult, that she complicates everything, that she does not know how to be quiet. But those who truly know her understand that her firmness comes from a heart that has suffered too much, that has learned to protect itself, and that can no longer accept less than it deserves. If you feel that your strength drives people away, do not blame yourself. Those who are bothered by your light prefer the darkness. It was not you who changed. It was your growth that made it so. Some could no longer keep up with you. God made you strong for a reason. He knew that your journey would require resilience, that you would face challenges that few could endure. Your strength is a blessing, even if not everyone sees it that way. Do not diminish who you are to fit into spaces that do not accommodate you. You were not born to be erased. You were born to shine. Your spiritual growth distances you from the world. The chosen woman feels, at some point in her journey, that the things around her begin to change. People who were once close start to drift away. Places that once brought joy no longer make sense. Old habits are no longer part of who she is becoming. What once seemed normal now feels too small. This change does not happen by chance. The closer she gets to God, the further away from the world she becomes. Not because she rejects people, but because her soul no longer feeds on the same things. What once made sense no longer does. God is shaping her heart for something greater. She begins to realize that certain conversations no longer make sense. While she used to engage in superficial topics, she now feels a deep need to talk about purposes, about faith, about what truly transforms lives. But not everyone is ready for this change. Many friendships begin to dissolve naturally, not because she rejects them, but because there is no longer a connection. Some people do not understand this transformation and start to say that she has changed too much, that she has become distant, that she is no longer the same. And in fact, she is not. The chosen woman feels that something inside her has been awakened. She can no longer engage in empty distractions, does not find pleasure in the same things as before. Her soul longs for growth, for knowledge, for being in tune with what God has for her. But this quest puts her on a path that few are willing to follow. Some people distance themselves because they do not understand this new phase. Others try to make her go back to who she was before. They say she is exaggerating, that she should relax, that she does not need to take everything so seriously. But she knows that this is a sacred moment. God is cleansing her life, removing everything that no longer serves her so that she can grow. At first, this may seem painful. She wonders if she is losing too much, if she is becoming lonely, if this path is really worth it. But over time, she realizes that she has not lost anything. On the contrary, God is making room for something greater. Distancing herself from what is shallow is necessary for those who want to grow spiritually. If she insisted on staying in the same places, with the same people, living the same way, she would never reach what God has prepared for her. Transformation requires renunciation, requires courage to move forward, even without knowing what comes next. This separation does not mean isolation. God did not call her to live alone, but to be surrounded by people who truly are part of her mission. Some relationships dissolve because they were not built on something solid. Others remain and become even stronger. The world does not understand those who choose to grow spiritually. Many think that faith is a waste of time, that seeking God is an exaggeration. But the chosen woman knows that her connection with Him is what gives meaning to everything. She is not distancing herself from people out of pride, or because she thinks she is better than others. She is simply following what her heart desires. If you feel that you are losing people, do not worry. God never takes anything away without a purpose. He closes doors to open better ones. He removes people who are not meant for your path to bring those who will truly be by your side. This transformation may seem difficult now, but soon you will see that everything makes sense. God is preparing a new season. He wants you to be ready to receive it. Do not cling to what no longer makes sense. Do not be afraid of the new. The chosen woman does not walk backward. She moves toward where God leads her. God prepares her in solitude. The chosen woman, at some point in her journey, will go through the desert. This is not a physical place, but a state of the soul. Suddenly she realizes that everything around her has changed. People drift away. Opportunities seem to disappear. The answers she seeks do not come. The silence becomes deafening, and she wonders, God, where are you? What she does not yet understand is that this solitude is part of the plan. God has not abandoned her. On the contrary, He has set her apart to work within her. The preparation of the chosen ones never happens in the midst of the crowd, but in solitude. When there are no distractions, when there is nowhere to run, that is when God shapes the heart. This period of silence can be painful. The chosen woman looks around and feels that no one understands her, no one helps her, no one sees what is going on inside her. But the truth is that God sees everything, and it is precisely in this moment that He is closest, even if she cannot feel it. The desert is not a punishment. It is training. It teaches the chosen woman to depend entirely on God, not on people, circumstances, or her own understanding. When everything around seems uncertain, that is where faith is tested and strengthened. She learns that she will not always have all the answers in the time she desires. She learns to trust, even without understanding. She learns to be patient, even when everything seems to be at a standstill. God works in silence, because the greatest transformations do not happen visibly, but within the heart. Solitude also reveals what needs to be healed. During this time, wounds from the past come to the surface, fears become evident, insecurities appear. It is not easy to look within and see what has always been ignored. But God does this because He wants to free her from what still binds her. In the desert, she discovers who she really is. What once seemed essential now proves unnecessary. The worries that once kept her awake begin to lose importance. God teaches her to see life with different eyes, to value what truly matters. Many give up in the middle of the desert. They think they have been forgotten, that there is no way out, that solitude will be eternal. But the chosen woman must remain steadfast. The desert has an end, and when she comes out of it, she will be stronger, wiser, and more prepared to live what God has for her life. If you feel that you are going through a time of solitude, do not despair. This is not the end of your journey. It is just a stage of your preparation. God is shaping you, teaching you to trust, to wait, and to grow. The desert can be a difficult place, but it is necessary. Those whom God chooses for something great need to be prepared. He never abandons those he has called. And when this time is over, you will understand that every tear, every silence, and every unanswered prayer were strengthening you for the purpose that awaits you. She is not truly alone. The chosen woman may feel that she walks alone, but this solitude is never complete. In the most difficult moments, when no one seems to understand her pain, God is there. He sees her tears, hears her prayers, knows every hidden fear in her heart. Even when the silence seems unbearable, He continues to guide every step of her journey. The pain of loneliness may make her doubt this. There are days when she wonders if God has forgotten her, if He still hears her, if there is really a purpose behind it all. But what she is yet to realize is that precisely in this silence, He is working. God does not always respond immediately. Many times He allows the chosen woman to walk down seemingly empty roads so that she learns to trust, even without understanding. He teaches her to walk by faith, not by sight. Every closed door was protection. Every person who left her life was removed so that they would not hinder her growth. Every obstacle served to strengthen her. Everything that seemed like abandonment was, in fact, direction. What seemed like loneliness was God preparing a new path. The chosen woman was not made to depend on the approval of the world. God wants her to find security in Him, that her identity be rooted not in what others say, but in what He has revealed about her. And this certainty is only gained in the time of isolation. If she could see everything God has already removed from her path. Not everyone can keep up with your evolution. This is one of the most important reasons why chosen women walk alone. Not everyone can keep up with their evolution. The journey of the chosen woman is not common, it is not linear, and above all, it is not for everyone. She grows, matures, and changes phases. What made sense before no longer does. What once seemed sufficient no longer fulfills her. And this continuous transformation causes many people around her to fall behind. Not because she wants to, but because not everyone is ready to grow alongside her. Many times, she feels that she needs to dim her light to fit into the spaces where she has always been. But there comes a moment when it is no longer possible. The truth is that some people are simply not prepared to keep up with someone who does not stop evolving. Some prefer to remain stagnant, while the chosen woman continues to rise. And this creates distance. People who were once by her side begin to feel that they no longer identify with her journey. Some try to hold her back, trying to convince her to return to a place where she no longer belongs. Others simply distance themselves because they cannot understand this quest for something greater. This can be painful, but it is also necessary. If everyone remained by her side, she might never reach all that God has prepared. Some relationships need to be left behind so that new ones can emerge. Some connections need to be cut so that she can move without weight, without ties. The chosen woman needs to accept that not everyone will continue by her side. And that is okay. Those who belong to her purpose will always find a way to walk alongside her. And those who cannot accompany her have simply fulfilled their role in her life. If you feel that you are losing people, remember, It is not you who is becoming alone. It is others who can no longer keep up with your pace. God is taking you to a new level, and not everyone can rise with you. Trust. What lies ahead is much greater than what is left behind. The purpose of solitude. If you identified with this message, know this. God is working in your life. Do not question the processes. Do not doubt your purpose. Just trust. In due time, everything will make sense. If this word touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And subscribe to the channel for more messages like this. God has something special for you.